Now, when we look at the next one, we're coming in on Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think I'm going to drop this, and I'm sure, like I said, people have seen it, but we're going to look at it and critique it because we care about the world we live in. Point Blank is only here because I love you, baby. That's right. I love all the babies. I love all the grown folks. I love all the grown men and women. I love all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love the world, the globe, the beauty, you know what I'm saying, of earth and all this gloriousness, you know what I'm saying, in it. And even throughout the galaxy, it is fascinating to me. And I love everyone, trust me. And I want to see us do a whole lot better. And we have been doing in the last 40, 50, 60 years. We thought that it would be an improvement from the other 40, 50, 60 years going back past that the changes will come. None has come. The only thing change has come is a change of worse into complete chaoticness that we've seen in 2020 and even before with Hillary Clinton and her bullshit. Now let's take a look at Cue Ball dancing Mayorkas, you know what I'm saying, up there looking like Oliver North, you know what I'm saying, being boxed around in Congress as the scapegoat for the damage and the bullshit that they're doing and still doing to our country. But now it's come to this point, it's the sing and dance time. And he's sitting up there looking like what we call a screwball jackass, just like this black lady up there trying to explain many genders. Now, listen to what Mayorkas has to say in this situation when this guy goes in, Marjorie Taylor Greene goes in on his head. Now, and we know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he was only appointed not too long ago. He wasn't always there. You know what I'm saying? There had to have been somebody there before him. And under his watch of this time, 2021 or 2020, whenever he was put in there, you know what I'm saying? The damage what he did is amazing.
I don't know why they're giving this much out.
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to me to see the type of shit that he has allowed and even facilitated in. You know what I'm saying? But I was looking at this and I found it quite interesting to see how this happened and what he's trying to say, looking up there looking like Screwball Wills. You see what I'm saying? And there's another gentleman there, a black ass jackass, and he was on the committee also when he was on the January 6th committee appointed by Nancy Pelosi, the idiot Duncy.
Heard the time when the clock was.
But this is Marjorie Taylor Greene going in on Mayorkas, the DOJ.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The DOJ.
Secretary Mayorkas, since you have been in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, there have been 0 miles of border wall added. There have been over 5.5 million illegal alien encounters at our border, 1.3 million known gotaways, and approximately 870% increase in apprehensions in just one sector of the northern border. American mothers and infants suffered a severe baby formula shortage, all while this administration was happily stocking the shelves for illegal aliens at one of the largest processing centers in the country. American mothers were forced to delay inductions at the Yuma Regional Medical Center because of your policies. They have flooded their maternity unit with illegal aliens. Tens of thousands of migrant children have been forced into slave labor in our country because of your policies. At least 853 dead migrants and counting, the most ever in a 12-month period, died trying to cross the southern border in 2022. And now there are over 300 Americans a day dying every single day, without fail, every single day because of fentanyl, deadly fentanyl, which is the #1 cause of death in young people between ages 18 and 45. Now we have rainbow fentanyl, which even NBC News was acknowledging that the cartels were bringing across our border, and it comes from China. This rainbow fentanyl looks like Sweet Tarts or Skittles, clearly made to target America's school children. It's 50 times more potent than heroin, 100 times more potent than morphine. And now, under your tenure, Secretary Mayorkas, schools all over America have to have Narcan to save children that overdose on this deadly poison. Let me explain something to you. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from any border state. I represent a district in Georgia, which is in Northwest Georgia. We're not anywhere near Mexico. We're not anywhere near the ocean. But in my district, people die nearly every single day from fentanyl. And I want to know from you, how many more people do we have to watch die every single day in America? How many more young people do we have to see die? How many more teenagers? How many more parents cry themselves to sleep at night, if they can even sleep, because their child overdosed on fentanyl? How long are you going to continue this outrage, complete outrage, where China is poisoning American children, poisoning our teenagers, poisoning our young people? How long are you going to let this go on?
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on.
Now, this is the HHS, Homeland, I guess it's called House Homeland Security Committee that's going on. But this is Homeland Security Mayorkas, Alexander, what his name is? Alejandro Mayorkas, cue ball, greasy, jackass, Luciferian, blood-sucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? That Biden appointed, to that position. And when the increase, we noticed even when it was before that a little bit, but when he got in there, we saw the double increase in what he did. You know what I'm saying? Doing this chaotic nonsense and doing, all this is about child labor, sex trafficking, bringing in illegal aliens so they could do all the work and the new workforce in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? And to also put a damage on the black and the blacker people and the white Caucasian people, the regular people gonna feel that blow because that's what they want to do. It's like the demon Democrats use the truth to con you for years and years, but at the same time, they want to feed off of your blood and you and damage your ass like they're mad at you and want to take it out on you, I guess because they lost the civil war. You know what I'm saying? And their ass got beat up on and all kinds of shit. A lot of them got imprisoned and hung. You know what I'm saying? They were even hunting their asses down. You know what I'm saying? And many other things happened to them. You see what I'm saying? So this is their long-term apocalyptic, Adolf Hitler. That stupid book they read, revenge on the regular common people who didn't support their Luciferian blood-sucking jackass. You know what I'm saying? Now listen to my Mayorkas comment to what Marjorie Taylor Greene just said.
We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar. You are letting this go on, and the numbers prove it. You can't lie about the facts, Secretary Mayorkas. While you live in denial and sit over there with this attitude that you're doing everything right, you are
now watch this black ass nigga cut in on Marjorie Taylor Greene. A black ass jackass
are killing people. Over 300 Americans a day. Over 300, and it's outrageous. Let me ask you another question. We talk about terror.
The ranking members recognized. We can disagree.
It's in the black ass.
Just the fact that we have people watching.
Fuck that.
You don't have to call.
We don't care. People dying. You cue ball.
A liar.
He is a liar.
And I just.
Excuse me. Does ranking member have a point of order?
Yeah, what's your point? You cue ball ass.
Actually, I
was a bald-headed black ass nigga.
Of the speaker down.
So
but I need to explain.
So the gentleman does have raising a point of order.
So the point is, in raising this point of order,
and John Lay's time will be restored.
We have a history
What
of
history?
being a bipartisan committee
Man, shut the
that
hell up.
work on solutions.
What
Now,
solution?
we can disagree,
He's lying.
but
Wordplay.
we've gotten to the point of the language that we're using.
Listen to him. Sounds like a
It's
bitch.
not the kind of language that historically we, as members of this committee,
He's
we've
lying.
used.
He's wordplaying.
And again, I
Making
just think
excuses.
in the interest of civility of this committee, I would implore all of the members that I understand the strength and concern, but there's a way that we ought to conduct
Nah,
ourselves.
fuck that shit.
And what
Fuck
I'm
that
hearing
shit. No,
is not how a
he's
majority of
garbage.
this committee
He's garbage.
conducts business.
He's
We can do
garbage.
better.
He's garbage. This man is garbage. That black ass bald headed
Right.
nigga you saw in the
Word
January
is
6th
taken
committee is
Many will
garbage.
spend, the gentleman
He's
will state
garbage.
the words that
And
he
now he's
wishes
in there
to
making
take down.
excuses when Marjorie Taylor
The young lady
Greene wrecking his ass.
referenced the secretary and called him a liar.
He is a fucking liar.
The chair asked the gentlelady if she wishes to seek unanimous consent to modify or withdraw her remarks.
I will not withdraw my
That's right.
remarks because the facts show the proof.
That's right, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
That's right. Tell that black ass nigga, shut the fuck up. That's what she should have told him. Shut the fuck up, you lying bitch ass. And stop trying to water this shit down. That's what she should have told him. Because people are dying. Children are being sex trafficked, raped, trees, all kinds of garbage, feeding on the people as if they are beasts swooped down from motherfucking hell. And he's sitting up there trying to black ass nigga that was on the January 6th lying ass committee trying to water down
So in
Marjorie Taylor
making a
Greene
ruling on this,
in when she reckoned
it's pretty clear that
Mayorkas
the rules
punk
state
ass.
you can't impugn someone's
Two bald-headed
character.
fucking fool.
Identifying or calling someone a liar is unacceptable in this committee. And I make the ruling that we strike those words.
Who gives a flag?
Sorry, just a point of order, legitimate question.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you move to take the words down or to strike them, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, sorry, I just stepped in.
Yeah, take him down.
So,
That's what we did.
Yeah.
yeah, my understanding is if words are taken down, that means that the member can no longer speak in whatever the proceeding is that those words were said.
Personal inquiry, point of personal inquiry.
There's no such thing.
Stand by just a second.
He bullshit. A black ass nigga up in there. He ain't on your side. That bald-headed fucking
So
fool.
in consulting the rules of the House,
Garbage.
when we strike, it does terminate the time of the
You
individual
don't
who
want
is
to hear
speaking.
that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You see how a black ass nigga step right in? Always take the black card nigga to be defending these beasts in the bullshit they do. When Marjorie Taylor Greene was wrecking his behind from door to door, he up in it talking some bullshit about how she called him a liar. Yes, he's a fucking liar. He came in there to do the job of the dirty work of the creepy Joe Biden administration. And that black man, I forgot his name, but he was on the January 6th dumbass, lying-ass, sucker balls committee up there with his black-ass bald head, glasses on, with looking like red, gray beard, you know what I'm saying, looking like an idiot. And now he's over here on Marjorie Taylor Greene wrecking Mayorkas, you know what I'm saying, you know, ask for what he did to do into our country, you know what I'm saying, and running down that fentanyl trail. Now, since that black ass nigga wanted to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene wrecking his behind, you know what I'm saying, you just admitted your incompetence. Mark Green laces Mayorkas. Now, let's check out him on that, because we want to see the nonsense in which they do, and we want to pay attention to everything. Now, this is Mayorkas on his bullshit trying to defend what he did at that border, letting these people in and all type of shit. He up there saying this, saying that, and he's an asshole. So we have to look at this from a better perspective and start to look at this in a more open-mindedness as to, you know what I'm saying, because Mayorkas took an oath. He took an oath to protect the United States border and so on. He took an oath, and he did not do that. You know what I'm saying? And now he's going to try to sing and dance all around the board so he don't get in no, you know, like as if he going to talk his way out of his own troubles.
With respect to the
There's
definition
no-
of operational control, I do not use the
Let's check it.
definition that appears in the Secure Fence Act. And the Secure Fence Act provides statutorily that operational control is
Let's take it from the top on this greasy head asshole. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of people that Creep Joe Biden put in there. You know what I'm saying? All types of people that seems to, it don't matter whether they're white or black. We got to get rid of that out of our mind.
For 5 minutes of questioning. I want to show a video, but first need to set the stage. Earlier in the year, we had a hearing at the border with Border Patrol Chief Ortiz, and I asked him if by the definition written into the law, we have operational control of our southwest border. He said resoundingly, we do not. Following that, Mr. Secretary, you were questioned before the Senate about operational control. This was March the 28th, just a few days ago. Let's watch your testimony.
With respect to the definition of operational control, I do not use the definition that appears in the Secure Fence Act. And the Secure Fence Act provides statutorily that operational control is defined as preventing all unlawful entries into the United States. By that definition, no administration has ever had operational control.
So here you admit that according to the definition that's in the code, no secretary has ever had operational control. So you know that that definition written into the law has not been achieved. Now, let's go back a few months to the testimony you gave here in the House. This is before Chief Ortiz admitted and told the truth that there was no security at the southwest border. Next clip.
Will you testify under oath right now? Do we have operational control? Yes or no?
Yes, we do. And
we have operational control of the borders.
Yes, we do. And Congressman,
we are working to. So what operational control defined? In this section, the term operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the United States, including entries by terrorists, other unlawful aliens, instruments of terrorism, narcotics, and other contraband. Do you stand behind your testimony that we have operational control in light of this definition?
And Congressman, I think the Secretary of Homeland Security would have said the same thing in 2020.
Mr. Roy reads
2019.
Mr. Roy reads the very definition you just admitted last month in the Senate that has not been achieved. He said, according to this definition, do you have operational control? According to the definition that you just said, no one has ever had operational control. He asks you under oath in the United States Congress if you had operational control according to that definition, and you said, I do. That is a false statement because you admitted in the Senate that no one has ever achieved that. You make it very clear, Mr. Secretary, that you've known all along, according to the definition that is written in the law passed by the Congress, that you do not have operational control. And yet, in testimony to this House, under oath, the definition was read to you. You've asked, according to that definition, whether control exists, and you say yes. That sounds like a lie under oath. Now, I want to change the subject just a bit. I want to set the stage for another clip.
My Alcas is a
Senator Cornyn, just last month, is asking you about the cartel strategy. And he describes what Border Patrol officers and leaders have come before this committee, Congress, told us on trips to the border, is the strategy of the drug cartels. They've been telling us this for 18 months. The cartels are overwhelming the crossing sites, tying up the Border Patrol. And then they're slipping the drugs and the human trafficking and the nefarious folks they want to get in the U.S. around the CBP when they're tied up. It's a distraction. In the military, we'd call it a neutralizing attack. Mm-hmm. He even says that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of this administration, came before their committee and said, yes, this is the cartel strategy. Let's see clip number 3.
Are you familiar with that strategy? Do you agree with the Attorney General?
I am not aware of
listen to me
dancing. Strategy.
Listen to my Alcas.
So the cartel's main strategy is something you're not even aware of.
Suck a ball, bitch.
I guess there's no communications between you and the Attorney General inside this administration. Do you guys don't talk to one another? That's insane, Mr. Secretary. You just admitted you have no clue about the central strategy of the cartels you've created by your open border.
Woo!
What general officer would we allow to stay on the job in the Army if he didn't understand the strategy of the enemy?
Woo!
Not only have you lied under oath, you just admitted your own incompetence.
Woo!
It's really quite unacceptable. You knew very well the definition wasn't being fulfilled. You told Chip Roy, Congressman Roy, yes, I have operational control by that definition. And then later, under oath, you admit no one's ever had control by that definition.
Woo! Bald head.
Then you tell the Senate, I don't even know what the cartel's main strategy is.
Bald head Mayorkas.
I'm out of time, Mr. Secretary. But that doesn't paint a very good picture of someone who's doing their job very well. I now yield to the rank.
Damn shame.
Has your property been damaged by recent
shame the way he sit up there and do that. Now we even see another situation here where we have Matt Gaetz, going in on Lloyd Austin head on drag queens. Now bust the funny joint. This is a black ass man supposed to be black. You know what I'm saying? Went through all types of shit in America, watches people be beat down, stayed down, and he facilitate every single by doing this. Listen to this. Listen to this idiot.
Yesterday that if the 8,000 plus service members who've been separated from the military due to the vaccine mandate want to reapply, that they're welcome to do.
Now listen to Lloyd Austin, a complete black idiot that Joe Biden.
You told Senator Schmidt yesterday that if the 8,000 plus service members who've been separated from the military due to the vaccine mandate want to reapply,
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, y'all. It's pissing me off now.
Yesterday that
One second. Hold on a second. Because we want to get this clown, because I'm tired of these black people, bringing out their black. And Joe Biden, no wonder he grabbed Austin. Now we know why. You know what I'm saying? Now we know why.
Recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Gaetz, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Secretary, you told Senator Schmidt yesterday that if the 8,000 plus service members who've been separated from the military due to the vaccine mandate want to reapply, that they're welcome to do so, but that you would do nothing to solicit their reapplication or to incentivize it. Why is that?
I think it's incumbent upon the individual to make that decision and reapply. The mechanisms are there.
Yeah, but you're overseeing a recruiting nightmare in our military right now. These are 8,000 patriots. And by the way, your department broke the law in administering the vaccine mandate. And that's not me saying so. That's the Inspector General for the Department of Defense, who wrote on June 2nd of 2022, we found a trend of generalized assessments rather than the individualized assessment that is required by federal law.
The department did not break the law.
You mean the IG is wrong? You think the IG is wrong?
Mandate,
he says he broke the law.
The lives of a number of
it ruined the lives of a number of people too. And it ruined the lives of people who love our country and want to re-enlist. Let me ask you this question. If we direct you by force of law to re-engage and incentivize the re-enlistment of these folks with full back pay and rank, do you have the capability to follow that instruction?
You put provisions in the law to enable those people those former service members to reapply in accordance with the service. Good.
Well, we will do that, just like we had to put the repeal of the vax mandate in the law. And I get the sense that the only reason you're not reaching out to these folks is pride, because otherwise they would be totally able to serve. And it seems that your personal pride is getting in the way. So going from the deeply serious things that we're not doing, re-engaging these 8,000 folks, to the deeply unserious things. Go ahead and put up the first slide. I guess my question is, how much taxpayer money should go to fund drag queen story hours on military bases?
Drag queen story hours is not something that the department funds.
well, wait a second. That's actually not what the record seems to suggest. You were going to fund one at Ramstein Air Force Base. That got canceled, but that's DOD insignia. That's a drag queen story hour for children. Then also at Malmstrom Air Force Base outside of Great Falls, Montana, you had a drag queen story hour for kids. At the Joint Base Langley Eustis, you put on a drag queen story hour on a Saturday for the first ever kid-friendly diversity, equity, inclusion summer festival.
The white
and
boy
at
wrecking
Nellis Air Force Base, you had the Drag You Nellis on June 17th. Who funded these things, Mr. Secretary?
Listen, drag shows are not something that the Department of Defense.
Black ass nigga.
Why are they happening on military bases?
Yeah.
I just
Why are they
showed
happening
you
on
the
military
evidence.
bases?
Why are they happening?
I will say again, this is not something that we support or fund.
Well, so you think hosting a drag queen story hour on a military base isn't supporting the drag queen story hour?
I stand by what I just said.
But you may stand by it, but it's belied by the evidence over and over again. I mean, are you aware?
The white boy tearing his ass up. And this is the one that creeped Joe Biden higher, Lloyd Austin, you know what I'm saying? Some big time general up in our military, a black ass nigga. I don't give a flying color you are. You come up on the radar, and you black, you damn sure getting it. You come up on the radar and you're a white boy, I'm damn sure gonna speak out on you. You come up there, you're an Arab boy, I'm gonna speak out on you. It don't matter who you are. And we got to cut out the color race thing. We got to cut that out. That has nothing to do with the garbage that they do, because look who up there doing garbage, Mayorkas. You expect a Latino gonna come over here and he ain't gonna try to facilitate the garbage that's going on over there and get up in leadership in our government and do that shit. But that's why Creep Joe Biden hired him. You know what I'm saying? Such as they hired a guy from Pakistan that was trumping up the commie scare. You know what I'm saying? And going into black neighborhoods and recruiting black people from the mosque. And then he set them up, and then it looked like when they got caught by the FBI, the CIA, because he set them up and they all come crashing down on them once he set them up and tell them he can get them money and all this bullshit. Now they're going to say they have 32 to 300 terrorists in jail that would come into our country in order to do some terrorist acts. So we have to go over there in Afghanistan and kick ass. And we need the funding and the money. So this Mr. Austin here that creeped Joe Biden higher, you could clearly see he ain't no more than a straight up jackass. He's a jackass. I don't know how he became, you know what I'm saying? And he probably was a sellout, you know what I'm saying, thinking idiot from day one of his life. You know what I'm saying? Probably gone out of his brain. Just because a person seems sane and made it through the ranks of the military, got a checkbook, got a house, got a man, don't mean they ain't sick in their fucking brains. And that's something that we have to start to realize. You cannot just sit up there and say, this is this and this is that, because, how are you going to talk about Mr. Austin? Because Mr. Austin, black-ass nigger, he made it through the military, and he's a top-ranked general, and you're just a young black dummy on the street talking shit. Why should we listen to you over Mr. Austin? But that don't mean...
Peace...
That don't mean he knows his brains.
Biden's military, Air Force Base in Montana holds drag queen story hour for kids in the Western Journal. Are you aware of that?
Again, I will say what I said.
You're saying what you're saying, but I guess it just doesn't comport with the facts. General Milley, this will be my last time to question you. You mentioned 2 years ago that you wanted to better understand white rage. And so my question is this. Did you read this book?
A sellout.
No, not at all.
Well, it is What is White Privilege is the book, and it's actually written by a DOD official, a senior official.
Now the white boy is going at another white boy. That's the other general dude who would be sitting up there with all the mean face look. You know what I'm saying? And he's promoting this book on white privilege listen to what he says about it to the white boy. White boy to white boy.
In diversity, equity, and inclusion. And there are now hundreds of these books in dozens of schools, and I wonder if you guys connect this to your problems with recruiting.
I've never read it, never seen it. Frankly, I don't even think about that stuff. I think about
go ahead and put up the next slide.
The the force.
No, that's a guy answering. He said never same thing. What's the name said? Merrick Garland. Never seen it. Never heard it. Never seen it. Never seen it before. Now this general, 4-star general, along with Austin's stupid, dumb, black, dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? They're doing a bunch of garbage for the creep Joe Biden administration and they're Luciferians because I guess they figure their life would be on the line if they don't do it because this is how the deep state roll. You see what I'm saying? If you don't do what they say, they're going to kill you, they're going to murder you, they're going to suck your blood. You know? Yeah! And this has been acceptable in the great old USA to where that fear has held down great people and also destroyed great people. And the American people, seeing it happen, living in complete fear, did nothing about it. You know why? Because they ain't willing to get together to think of a motherfucking greasy spoon. They're too busy worrying about the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacy, white superior, white this, white that, these niggas over here. They worrying about black ball, you know what I'm saying? They're holding us down. We got to do this, we got to struggle, you know what I'm saying? We a warrior in the hood, you know what I'm saying? We in the hood, you know, and all that. But none of us come together in order to crush the very beast in which put all that systematic vibe into play. Let's continue on the white boy, General Post or General Head, as my man over here, Matt Gaetz, tear his head off.
Put up the next slide, please. Okay, well, in the next slide, this is a tweet by one of your employees in charge of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it's patently racist. They say that she had to give Karen the business, that she talks about caudacity, presumably of Caucasian people. So I guess, why does the...
look at it.
Well, why is that person...
You're not getting an argument from me. That's terrible. It's wrong. She shouldn't be doing that.
At least he admitted.
I don't... That's a DOD employee, not U.S. military uniform.
Should they be fired, Secretary Austin?
Again, as you heard at your subcommittee here, this incident was investigated and
they're still employed. Mr. Chairman, I have a series of unanimous consent requests.
And they're still employed.
Without objection.
First is Joint Base Langley Eustis holds drag show at kid-friendly festival. And the next is U.S. military defends drag show at largest training center as quote, essential to morale. And the next is Nellis Air Force Base hosts first ever drag queen show, essential to morale and readiness. That's a Breitbart piece. And finally, Ramstein cancels library's drag queen story time for Pride Month following criticism.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman's time's expired.
Can you believe that shit? On military bases, Mr. Austin, a black man, a black greasy-head, bald-headed sucker, up there promoting this bullshit. Can you believe this shit? In our fucking government. This is what Creep Joe Biden hired this man to do. Imagine that shit. Drag queen stories in the military bases and saying it's good for who? Morale. This was a complete Luciferian attack on black people, white Americans, patriots, all of them. They are attacking us from the very inside out. The reason why they're putting drag queens and all this other bullshit in your schools